Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Makak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Once again, coming at you with another lesson. Lord's will, it will be edifying. I want to entitle this video, this lesson, The M.O.T.B is not a game. Now, we teach over here at Great Millstone, and we push about the M.O.T.B. It's getting ready to come out. It's getting ready to come to pass. And we're the main camp out here pushing about the M.O.T.B. Or other camps either not even saying anything about it, or they're teaching that it's something that it's not. Basically teaching false doctrines and teaching that the M.O.T.B. is anything other than what it is. Over here at Great Millstone and like-minded men on down, we continue to preach and teach about what the M.O.T.B. truly is, which is the M-A-R-K of the beast, which is the RFID C-HIP. See? This is the thing that they want to put in your hand or in your forehead in order to buy or sell. This is where everything is leading. See? This is one of the things that they want to get implemented because they want total control over all the people. And the main reason that it's going to come out is because it's prophecy. Because the Lord said it. See? It's part of biblical prophecy. The prophecies of the Lord say that the M.O.T.B. is going to come out and be made mandatory. And we want to make that crystal clear. The M.O.T.B. is getting ready to come out and be made mandatory, and it's going to go across the whole entire world. And that's why you see everything breaking down. They conditioning the people, and they setting up the situation to where everyone is going to be in a position to have to take it. See, they're trying to set everybody in that position to where they have to take it. So where they have no other choice. They're creating the atmosphere of desperation. That's why you have all of these layoffs and people getting cut on all of these jobs and shutdowns and people not getting checks. All of these things are leading somewhere. See, this is all systematic. This devil knows exactly what he's doing. But like I said, the main reason that this is going down is because of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shai. This is part of his prophecy. His prophecies always come to pass, and the M.O.T.B., which is a major prophecy, is no different. Now, I got some video clips I want to get into and some articles, and then I want to get some scriptures. Let's start out here on the jobs. A lot of people getting cut off these jobs. Let me start with this video right here.
Kroger is laying off up to 10,000 people as it closes 60 stores over the course of...
1 second.
Kroger is laying off up to 10,000 people as it closes 60 stores over the course of the next 18 months.
And this has been happening with the big companies over and over and over. And it's been ramping up over the last few years. Like it says here, Kroger is closing 60 stores and laying off 10,000 people. So when you hear about all of these big chunks of people being laid off, where are they going? Are they going to another job? It's not that simple, because the thousands of people that are already laid off has been trying to get jobs. So this thing is getting worse and worse and worse. Specifically for the people, it's setting up a scenario to where you're gonna have to depend on this government, basically. That's how they leading things, and so that you won't be forced to have to take the M.O.T.B. You'll be forced to do everything they say, comply with everything they want you to comply with, because you don't have anything. And when people lose jobs, and a lot of people have been through this, and you don't have a job and you're looking for one, that's not a fun time. You're moving to try to get something to replace that so you can keep things going, keep things running smoothly. And all the while you don't have that in place, you're in a mode of desperation, so to speak. And that's what's happening. Let me continue.
This is after their multi-billion-dollar deal with Albertsons fell through as monopoly laws prevented this merger from happening. So Kroger, which also has brands like Ralph's and everything tied to it, going to be closing 60 stores. And this is a lot of people's jobs, guys. 10,000 jobs is not what America needs right now. We've had over 1 million layoffs already.
Did you hear what he said? Over 1 million layoffs already. And it's a trickle-down effect. You see?
1 million layoffs already.
Pause it. I wanted to pause it right on that million mark. 1 million.
1 million layoffs.
Right there. You're talking about 1 million people. 1 million people, and it's a trickle-down effect. See, what happens is if you have these many people out of work, then they're working one segment of business, then you don't need another segment of business because it's nobody making any money to buy or sell or do the things that they need to do to operate. So they don't, then other businesses suffer. And it's a trickle down effect, and it continues on and on and on. So people are overlooking this thing. They're not seeing how these devils are setting up to where they can come out with the M.O.T.B.
already in the year of 2025, and we're not even done with October yet. So here's really hoping that this economy does something to turn around, because due to the terrible job market and due to all the layoffs as well as the ridiculous inflation, it's really hard on people out there right now. And I try not to make too many of these negative videos anymore, simply because I want to do things to help people and be uplifting, but some of this stuff has to be addressed. And where this stuff has to be addressed is like, the real truth is that Kroger groceries are about twice the price of Aldi and Walmart, especially for the non-store brands. So you could argue that, but I know from shopping at Ralph's and when I go shop at Aldi that the price is less than half for me to do all of my brand shopping at Aldi than it is to go to a Kroger or a Ralph's.
And we've been preaching that the price of food is getting ready to skyrocket. It's getting ready to skyrocket because of inflation. The price of food and everything you buy is going up. See? And that's of no coincidence. A lot of people are being priced out and getting more and more desperate. Let me continue.
So, yeah, you can buy the store brand and be careful and get it closer, but really it's just more expensive overall. And when you have these brands that are charging double for groceries, like Albertsons, like Kroger, like Ralph's, like Stater Brothers, and you have brands like Aldi and Walmart, when you buy the store brands that are half the price, you can't help but understand why normal people that are struggling, especially people that can't get the kind of jobs that they're looking for right now, are going to go and grab what they can. And so I don't feel bad for them. This is why Aldi is expanding aggressively everywhere across the United States right now. It's the fastest growing grocery store chain. It's also rated the lowest prices. I understand Aldi isn't everywhere, but it will be soon. And they have a lot of practices that save them money. So let me know, is a Kroger the place that you go? Is this going to affect you? And how do you feel about all the layoffs in 2025? Because I'm concerned about it. I really want people to be able to have good jobs, be able to, work and take care of their families. And I don't like seeing this trend, and I hope it turns around soon.
There you have it. Kroger closing 60 stores. Up to 10,000 employees will be laid off. Now, that's a big deal. Now, I want to get this article real quick out of thestreet.com. It says two major tech giants, major corporations are making major layoff decisions ahead of the holiday season. It says key points: major U.S. employers have announced mass layoffs ahead of the holidays. It says tech companies are cutting thousands of jobs, citing AI efficiency and restructuring. And we know that AI has the ability to replace a lot of jobs. So a lot of people Hey, they're not needing it anymore. They're going to use AI to do a lot of things that people normally used to do. And this is the direction that they're going. And you say to yourself, well, what about the people? Why don't they care about whether the people are going to be able to provide for themselves? Because they have a whole new different system that's finna come into play. They don't need as many people, number one. And you don't need to be working. They came out and said by 2032, they don't expect for many people to have any type of a job. See, because they're doing away with all the working and jobs and things. They're going to have AI and they're going to have what they call universal income. And they're coming up with a whole new system. They already have a digital system in place to where they're going to get rid of cash. The cash you use is going away. It's going to be all digital. You're already using credit cards. You're already using a digital system as we speak. But eventually, real soon, it's going to be cut off from using dollars and paying people using cash. That's going to be a thing of the past. You're going to have to be linked into this digital system, and that's where the M.O.T.B comes into play. See? The M.O.T.B is that thing, that device that they want to put in your hand or in your forehead. That thing is a piece of electronic circuitry, which is connected, which is going to be able to connect straight into those terminals. See, the RFID technology is going to be able to link into those terminals to where you can buy or sell with. That's exactly the prophecy. So they're striving. They want everybody to receive this MARK in their hand or in their forehead. And that's where everything is leading to. It says tech companies are cutting thousands of jobs, citing AI efficiency and restructuring. Some argue that layoffs are due to AI, but others cite other causes. The whole bottom line is they're moving into their NW, the whole new system. See, they're scrapping the way things are being done now, and they're moving into the system they always wanted to put in place. And the reason why it's moving so fast is because the Lord is moving them. He's pushing them to move fast. See, everything is according to the will of the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. He's bringing this kingdom down. That's exactly what you're witnessing. And this is their attempt to keep this thing going. See, it says with the baseball season officially in the rear view mirror following the end of the World Series, and Americans are fully ensonged in fall sweater weather, many are turning their attention to the winter holidays. It says Thanksgiving is only weeks away, and Christmas is coming right after. For a lot of us, November can get a little hectic. It's like that every year, but especially this year. It's even worse for people trying to celebrate these holidays, which we do not celebrate as Hebrew Israelites. If you are a Hebrew Israelite, these holidays are for these heathens. They're not a part of being a Hebrew Israelite. It says large private U.S. employers. Walmart, 1.6 million employees. Amazon, 1.1 million. UPS, 443,000 employees. Target, 427,346 employees. Home Depot, 418,000 employees. Source Ringover. It says for tens of thousands of workers, this season won't be very jolly. However, as the wave of layoffs that has swallowed up the U.S. employees, it says employees all year are rising in the fourth quarter. It says Amazon, UPS, and Target, three of the largest employers in the country, have already announced plans to lay off tens of thousands of workers in the coming weeks. Like I said, people will say, well, what about the people? See, they have the people don't understand what they're dealing with. This is a whole system being set up right before your very eyes, and they restructuring this thing and scrapping this old system at all cost. And part of that is laying off all these people. because they're moving towards this new system. It says major layoffs announced in the past months. Target revealed plans in late October to eliminate 1,800 corporate jobs, marking its second largest corporate downsizing ever. Amazon announced another round of layoffs just before the holidays, and cuts affected 14,000 corporate jobs across multiple departments to reduce bureaucracy. It says removing layers and shifting resources to better serve its investments and customers. And I was reading about how they made a huge profit last year. So you would say that doesn't make any sense. You made a huge profit. Why are you cutting people? UPS has cut about 48,000 jobs so far this year, including 34,000 positions through its network reconfiguration and efficiency reimagined program. So as you can see, it's going down. Things is happening. And if you work, you're still working. Everything affects everybody. Everything affects everybody. With this shutdown, you get all of these essential workers, non-essential workers. They no longer receiving checks. You got military people no longer receiving checks. That's affecting everything. It's affecting the banks. It's affecting all of the businesses. Everything is being affected. See? And with all of these things happening simultaneously, they bringing about this new system. This new system is being brought in, whether you can see it or not. Well, we can see. We can see it. We see everything being set up. Now, I got a couple videos here. This one right here is on the banks. A lot of banks have been closing. A lot of banks have been closing. They're restructuring
Massive,
the banks.
explosive news that happened overnight that the mainstream media is not talking about, and for good reason, because they don't want to cause a run on the banks. And I'm going to tell you about it because I think everyone needs to know about this. So last night, Halloween night, in the middle of the night, the Federal Reserve injected billions of dollars into the banking system. They conducted the biggest repo operation since 2020 COVID, injecting $29.4 billion into the banking system. Repos are short-term loans where the banks trade treasuries for cash to boost liquidity, meaning the banks are having a cash liquidity problem, which means loans are going to tighten up significantly. U.S. bank reserves have crashed to $2.8 trillion. That's a 4-year low. Guys, major alarm bells are going off. They did this very quietly. It wasn't really announced. No one talked about it. Like, this is major. They did it Friday night, so there's not a rush on the banks today because many of them are closed. So, guys, they are trying to safeguard the system, but they are showing that it is under significant stress, and it is going to be compounded and get even worse today.
And we've been saying it. They're crashing the system. They're bringing this thing down. This current system that we have now using paper dollars and the way that everything is conducted today is getting ready to change. These banks they just got, I believe he just said $28 billion from the Fed in order to keep things going good with their banking system. See, it's all because they're not receiving monies like they used to when everybody was working and when the shutdown wasn't happening, when they had the checks rolling in and everything was being paid, the car notes and the homes and all the mortgages, everything was being paid like clockwork. Now that hasn't been happening. So you're talking about tens of thousands of people no longer poured into these banks, making their payments back on their loans and things. So this is affecting the banks. This is affecting the whole system because they're getting ready to scrap this system. Let me continue.
And into this week, because there is now billions of dollars that is not going to be flowing into businesses, into the banking system because of the SNAP benefits expiring. So without that money coming into the system, that's just a huge chunk that's not going in through the banks. And then you have the government shutdown causing contractors to not be getting paid. That money's not flowing through. Then you've got the air traffic controllers not working and that money not flowing in, and all these other government employees not having money come in flowing through the banking system. So it's massive losses. The shutdown has to end. What this also shows is that People have already been going to the banks to pull out their cash, to get their cash out. So the banks are low on cash. There's probably people even going there trying to pull money and being told no, they don't have it. I'm sure that that is happening. And if it's not yet, it might start happening here very soon. I'm not trying to be an alarmist here, but this is actually happening. This move by the Fed shows there's major problems ahead. This could be the big correction coming. It could hit this week. Could this looming crisis be the reason senior cabinet officials have moved on to military housing now? Let me know your thoughts on this. Leave a comment, like, share, spread the word. Make sure everyone knows about this. This is serious. It affects everyone. Follow, subscribe, and I'll see you back here for the 411.
So the bottom line is the banks are having major issues needing the Fed to pump in $28 billion. And like I said, they did this quietly, as he just said, overnight on Halloween. And that's the way a lot of times they do things. They do things when nobody's looking, and they keep it quiet. See? Because they don't want people to panic, so to speak, and make a run on the banks or whatever. But hey, that's the way these devils do. That's how they roll. Let me get this next video clip here, because ultimately, with people not being able to get the SNAP benefits, that's billions of dollars not being put into the system or into the banks or into the companies. People not being able to get their checks, whether they're in the military or working for the government. They're not being able to get their checks. So all of these things are not being paid that was normally paid. Everything is crashing because they're crashing it. See? They've been saying they have emergency funds to keep the SNAP thing going, but they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that because they're bringing in the whole system. They're scrapping the system we have now, and they're going to bring in this new system that's going to, you're going to need to have the M.O.T.B. That's exactly what's being set up right before your very eyes, and we see it. And we're telling you what's going to happen before it happens. Because anyone who takes the M.O.T.B, the M-A-R-K of the beast, the Lord is going to destroy. He's going to destroy you himself. See, you're going to be burning in that lake of fire, which is going to be caused by that thermonuclear destruction during World War III. And yes, World War III is prophecy. The scriptures teach about World War I, World War II, and World War III. It's all contained in the scriptures. For people who didn't know, the scriptures cover everything. Everything that's major and everything that is important is covered in the scriptures. And World War III is covered through many books. The book of Isaiah, the book of 2nd Esdras, all over the entire scriptures, the book of Revelation, and on and on. World War III is going to happen, whether you believe it or not. Everything is being set up, whether you can see it or not. See, we can see it. We know these things are going to happen. And the Lord has been getting us prepared through the spirit and power of the Lord. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, we're getting prepared. We know these things are about to happen. And we know once the M.O.T.B come out, the World War III, that's going to happen. And all of the prophecies are going to come at the appointed time. Now, in this next video clip, you're going to hear my man talking about how the reason all of these things are happening is to put the squeeze on everybody, put them in a situation that we have to take the M.O.T.B. Let me play this video.
Welcome to the calm before the storm. I just left Walmart. People are panicking without panicking. You can feel it in the air. It was crazy. My last video, I said I went to Walmart in the middle of the day and the food section was slam full. You can see the panic on people's faces. You can feel it. We've all been feeling it for the past few years. We just didn't know what or when. And I think this EBT is the trigger to the beginning of the downfall of this system, and they're going to implement the new one. A new financial system, a digital-backed currency. No more paper dollar. That shit's old. It's only worth 29 cents on the dollar. It's not even worth $1 anymore. They're going to freeze your bank accounts. People are going to get crazy. They're going to implement martial law. Then they're going to flip the switch. When you get hungry enough, they'll flip the switch, and you're going to be begging for their help to be a part of the new system.
Hey, you should know they're set to deploy troops to all 50 states. Why? Because they're creating the chaos so they can bring in the order. They're creating the chaos so they can bring in the order, whether you can see it or not. Whether you can see or whether you hear or forbear, we're putting it out there. We're warning you about these things that are about to happen before they happen. When people can't eat, they get crazy. And when they get crazy, they're going to want to bring in the order. Martial law, troops. See, it's finna get crazy in this place. And we can see it. It's getting ready to go down. We're very, very close to the end of this thing, meaning the end of Esau's wicked rulership. I mean, we're talking about that the Lord, as he's getting ready to come back, Yahushua is getting ready to crack them skies. He's getting ready to come back to redeem or to deliver his elect from the said destruction. See, and he's getting ready to destroy this wicked kingdom. This is what's about to go down. Let me continue.
New financial system and everything else. You're going to get a digital ID or you're going to get a chip put in you and you're going to be part of the system. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about this? Have you been to the stores? Can you see the panic? Can you feel the tension in the air? Let me know.
So as you can see, everything is setting up to put people in a position of desperation. That's what they're all about. That's what they want to do. How else are you going to get people to comply if everything is good and everything is going great and people are doing great? Why would they want to try to force you to take something that you don't want at that time? They're going to put this place into a state of desperation where people is going to be lined up. They're going to have C-hip stations set up where people are going to be getting C-hipped up. That's what's about to happen. Now, from there, I want to play a little bit of this video clip right here, and then I want to get some scriptures. This is from the brother's channel, Hopeful Elect 3. The name of the video is, the end goal is the M.O.T.B. This, I believe, is a 10-minute video. Lord's will, I'll put it in the description box. It's an excellent video. Let me play this, though. I'm going to play the end of this video
right now and bring in a new system with corporations controlling everything.
With the American government shut down, understand, and I've mentioned this before, is to roll in the chip. But not until complete, utter desperation for many of the people. Not until they are broken, weak, hungry, lives are gone, lives are destroyed. They are ignorant, but not that ignorant. They know they have to cause chaos and absolute desperation in order for it to be brought in and people jump on board with the chip. But understand this, those who walk in absolute obedience with God and surrender to God, I'm going to tell you right now, and I hope you do this now after hearing this. Those that wait on God and know that only God provides. Not our government, not the people, not this world, nothing but God. Those who endure fasting, those who endure fasting at least 1 or 2 days a week will be able to endure and wait on the Lord.
Now, she's speaking off of what she believes is correct based on what she's learned. But the bottom line is the Lord has already chosen before the foundation of the world who he is going to deliver in these last days. He's already chosen the ones that he's going to keep from the hour of temptation, which is the time when they're going to implement the M.O.T.B. He has an elect, okay, chosen before the foundation of the world to receive salvation. And they are the ones that are going to refuse to take this thing. It's not going to come down to fasting or that you believe in this or you believe in Jesus and all that madness. It's going to come down to if you are of the elect or not. That's why we call ourselves the hopeful elect. We're hopeful we're of that number to be delivered. And the elect is only Israelites. First and foremost, you have to be an Israelite to be of the elect. And out of the Israelites, there is an election that the Lord chose before the foundation of the world to keep from the hour of temptation. That's what it's all about. That's the bottom line. If you're of that number to be delivered, you will not take this thing. Let me continue.
But those of you that take the mark, understand from that very moment, that very split second, God himself will depart from your life. And it's going to be utterly painful. You have never known, not even Satan has ever known, for God's presence to be removed from one. But God will bring boils upon your chip, upon your hand or your forehead, wherever you put that thing. And just know it is going to be utterly painful. And if you go and try to remove it yourself and still try to seek the face of God, it is too late. God will provide for those who are his, who've already been marked by God, which the spiritual world can see whom is marked and whom is not. But it is not until absolute desperation that has to occur before the chip is rolled in.
So that's the bottom line. Complete desperation. Okay, that's the way they're going to do this thing.
Late.
A lot of people are going to comply with no hesitation. Because either A, they don't know no better, they're weak, they don't have any faith. They're going to know, some other people are going to know that it ain't right, but they're going to take it anyway because they're not of the elect. They haven't been listening and learning about the M.O.T.B from the true prophets. They're going to get caught out there. They're going to be put in a state of desperation, and then they're going to take it. Many people who saying that they know about it and they're saying they're not going to take it is going to take it. It's all according to the will of the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. It's not because of the will of man. See, the Lord has already chose before the foundation of the world who is going to do what. This thing is already written. The Lord has already spoken. We're just living it out. See, everyone's on this earth just living out what the Lord has already spoke. So either you're going to take it or you're not. But it's all based on the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Now from there, let's get into some scriptures. Because as you can see, everything is being set up. These devils, they moving to bring in their order. Whether you can see it or whether you can't. Everything is being set up right in front of your very eyes. Whether you can see it or not. Let's start out here in the book of Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 5 and verse 7. It says, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, and put off not from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. So this is what we always push. We tell our people it's time to return to the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Forsake your wicked ways. Ask the Lord to forgive you. Repent from your sins. Because the Lord, he's going to destroy all the sinners. If you're down here living wickedly, you best believe you are going to be destroyed by the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And this is the time to do it. Putting that off from day to day. See, a lot has been going on about this comedian Drewski, and it's been getting a lot of attention because everybody wants to laugh. Everybody wants entertainment. Well, it's a time to laugh. It's a time to be entertained. But in the times we're living in right now, this is the time to get serious. See, it's better to be in a state of mourning than in a state of feasting. A lot of people out here, they're in a state of feasting. They're in a state of mirth. They're thinking it's time to have a good time. They're doing everything they can to try to keep everything as normal as possible, while everything is crashing all around them. These devils is bringing this thing down, see, to set up this system. But ultimately, it's the Lord that's doing this thing. The Lord has put a wrap on Babylon the Great, aka America. This place is done. This place is through. As we always say, circling the drains. The Lord is setting it up to where these devils is getting ready to go down. And all the ones of our people, you heathens who's lashed onto this system, these devils, you take the M.O.T.B, you out of there. You done. So the warnings are going out now. See? Forget about Drewski and comedy and jokes. This is the time to get serious. Things are setting up. This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. The vision meaning the prophecies. Every single prophecy that the Lord has came at the exact time that he wanted it to come. See? Jacob's trouble is already ramping up as we speak. A time on earth that there's never been. A time to where all hell is about to break out. It's going to be all kinds of chaos, destruction. People are going to be getting deleted, destroyed left and right. It's going to be blood in the streets. This place is getting ready to be crazy. Martial law. See? Going to be troops out here. People going to have their weapons. See? People going to be invading one another, breaking into each other's homes, taking things that they want to take. People going to be getting ravished and messed over. This is getting ready to get way, way worse. And we warning you. The Lord is finna increase the evils on this earth like you ain't never seen. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. But in the end, it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Well, y'all been talking about the M.O.T.B for years, and it ain't happened yet. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen. See? Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. See? It will not tarry. This when you think that it will never happen, that's when it's going to pop up on you. And you're not going to be prepared because you ain't been believing. You haven't been listening and believing the words that are being spoken through the mouths of the Lord's prophets. We are telling you exactly what's about to happen before it happens. See, that's where the Lord has set up the prophets. See, so that we can tell you about the things to come before they happen. So you can get prepared. See, so whether you hear or forbear, hey, you're going to know that a prophet had been among you. Now from there, let's get the prophecy in the book of Revelation. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 16. It says, and he calleth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that he is these devils in this system. See, the ones that's ruling right now, they want to put together, they're putting together their NW. See, their system to where they want to bring in this RFID hip, which is the M.O.T.B. As you can see, this is prophecy. This is prophecy. This is definitely going to happen. See? And he calls it both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So it don't matter who you are. Small, great, rich, poor, especially people who quote unquote call themselves rich. They gonna want to hang on to everything they got. When this thing go all digital and that M.O.T.B come out, and they find out that if they don't have the M.O.T.B, they can't even use the money that they think they have. They gonna take it. You see how everything is setting up? Rich and poor, free and bond. Whether you locked up, whether you free. See, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So this is what these devils meditate on. This is what's in their minds. Why? Because the Lord has set this up. See? The Lord controlling everything. Verse 17, it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So the ones who end up taking this thing, that means you're down with this man and his system. You're not with the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And the Lord is going to destroy you. You see? So, well, why would the Lord come out with something like this? Why would this be happening? Because, first of all, the Lord does what he wants to do. Second of all, this is going to show who is his. This is going to show who is of the elect and who is not. See, the ones that are of the elect are going to pass the test and they're not going to take it. But the ones who are not, they're going to take this thing and be destroyed by the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Now, from there, I want to get into this word, mark. Let's get this word mark because, you got a lot of new people coming into this thing. And I just want to make it clear. That's what we do. We're breaking it down to the spirit and power of the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And this is to prove to you that mark is not talking about something spiritual. It's not talking about sin. It's not talking about an embargo, sleeping with white women, or a picture of Caesar Borgia, a bunch of false doctrines that's being pushed by other camps or other groups. See? The mark here in the Greek is charagma.
Strong's G 5480, charagma. Charagma.
It says a stamped on and printed mark. This is something physical. See? It says of the mark stamped on the forehead or right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. It says a mark branded upon horses, a thing carved, sculptured, graven work. So we're talking about something physical. This is something that they want to physically put inside of you. And it's going to be linked to this digital system. See? Now from there, let's get the root word for charagma.
Strong's G 5482, charax. Charax.
Charax. It says a pale or stake or palisade, a palisade or rampart. It says pales between the earth, stones, trees, timbers are heaped and packed together. So basically what we're talking about is a stake or palisade. The delivery system, the thing that they're going to use it in order to get it inside you. How else would they get it inside you where they're going to have to pierce the skin, or they're going to put it in your forehead or put it in your brain? That's how it's going to go down. See, this is a pale or stake or palisade right here. You see? All of these things have some type of point at the top. That's how they're going to get it in your hand or your head. You're going to have to be pierced. See? You're taking a covenant with these doubles. You take this thing, your skin is going to be pierced in order to get this thing in you. Now, let me show you the delivery device of the thing that they want to use to get it in you. It'll look like this. You see, just like that pale or stake or palisade, it has a point on the end of this thing. You see, this is the delivery device. But they're going to have automatic systems. They're going to have C-hip stations set up. See? And this is an example of what it looks like right here. See? And you can see they're already doing this. They're already doing this. They're already implanting people. This is real. This is no joke. This is happening now. And as you can see through the scriptures, it's all lining up perfectly. You see how everything makes sense? You see how we know that the M.O.T.B is the RFID C-hip? Now from there, let's get the root word for charax.
Strong's G 1125. Grapho.
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 It says to write with reference to form letters, to the form of letters, to delineate or form letters on a tablet, parchment, paper, or other material. This is talking about the data that's going to be contained in that RFID chip. See? Let me go back. This is the information they're going to have in this chip, in this C-hip. See? They're going to put all of your data in there. They're going to be able to know exactly who you are. They're going to have your financials, your health, everything that's about you linked is going to be put in the information in that C-hip. So when you scan that thing in order to use it, they're going to know exactly who you are. And that's how we know for a fact that the RFID C-hip is the M.O.T.B. See? Now it's been broken down many times, but hey, this is for the new people just now coming into this thing. You need to understand what's at stake here and what's about to happen. Now from there, let's get this in Isaiah, because this is the key that's going to give you stability in the times that's coming up. Isaiah 33:6. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times." See, we're talking about this wisdom, this knowledge, this understanding. We're not just talking about any old thing, no foolishness out there. We're talking about the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding being broke down through the spirit and power of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, through his prophets, through his men. The Lord has given us the breakdowns. He's given us the secrets so that the people can, we making it plain upon tables. We're making it plain so that everybody knows, everybody understands. See, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is being put out all over the whole entire world through the internet. You got brothers preaching and teaching all over the world on the highways and byways. These lessons are going up left and right. So the word is going out. The gospel is being preached, the true gospel. The scripture said the gospel will be preached throughout all the world, and then the end shall come. And this ain't been talking about Christianity or any other madness. This is talking about the true understanding of the scriptures through the prophets, through the true prophets of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It says, "Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation." It says, "The fear of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua is his treasure." And that's another thing we push. You're not going to go to church and they're going to teach you about the fear of the Lord. They're going to just teach you basically how you need to be blessed. See? And they're going to tell you about the prophecies. We're breaking down the prophecies through the spirit and power of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua. The things you need to know. The things that are most important. The prophecies is everything. Everything that's happening in the world is because of the Lord has spoken it. Everything is the prophecies of the Lord coming to pass. See? The fear of the Lord is his treasure. And we fear the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua. See? It's better to fear than to love. If you love somebody and you don't fear him, you still going to go off. But hey, it's less of a chance of you doing something wrong when you fear. And we fear the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So hey, we're striving to do everything that the Lord wants. See? We're striving to have live a righteous lifestyle as possible. No, we're not going to be perfect. That's why the Lord has grace. We have grace through Yahushua. We have grace through our Lord and Savior Yahushua. The grace is what we need from the first covenant. See, grace is the link between the first covenant to the second covenant, to when the Lord is going to come and make us perfect. But until then, hey, we strive to follow his law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. See, because the wages of sin is death, and we don't want to be down here sinning. See, sin is a transgression of the law. So if you think that you got grace and you just going to do anything you want to do, you're going to live any old type of way you want, you're going to eat any old thing you want to eat, you can commit all kinds of sin and adultery and all types of stealing and doing anything you want. You think the Lord is not marking that down, you crazy. Because the Lord, hey, he's recording everything that we're doing down here. And the only ones that the Lord is going to deliver in these last days is the ones that are of the elect. If you're of the elect, you're going to be striving to do your best to please the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You're going to be striving to live as righteous lifestyle as possible. Those are the ones that the Lord is coming to deliver. Those are the ones that the Lord is going to save. You're not going to be able to make it through Jacob's trouble. You're not going to be able to even deal with the M.O.T.B. lest the Lord put the spirit on you. See, to refuse that thing, even if you got to be taken out. See, the Lord has it set up for the elect to make it no matter what. And he's going to make a way. He's going to make a way for us to eat, drink, all the things that we need to do. The Lord, hey, he's controlling everything anyway. Everything is controlled by the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Who eats, who drinks, who has whatever they have. Everything was given by the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. See, we understand that. So we're going to put our faith in the Lord. Now from there, let's get to the prophecy. This is what the Lord, anybody who take that thing, the Lord has a severe judgment. This is Isaiah chapter 14. I'm going to start at verse 9. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, it says the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. See, his righteous anger is going to be poured out on all of the people who take that C-hip. See? It says, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, who is Yahushua. That's exactly what's going to happen. See, the Lord, you can be tormented in that fire. And if anybody can control that, it's the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. You don't want to be down here being tormented with that fire and brimstone, which is going to be caused by that thermonuclear destruction. People, you need to understand that the way we're going to be delivered is through the chariots, who people ignorantly call UFOs. No, they're not aliens. Those are the angels. This is spoken out in the book of Matthew chapter 24. The Lord's going to send his angels to the four corners of the earth. And if you of the elect, you're going to get beamed up out of here. You're going to be delivered up out of here. How else will you escape the destruction? Babylon the Great is going to be burning from the east coast to the west. You think you're going to make it out of here? You think even a bunker going to save you up out of here? The scriptures say this place is going to be one big, huge desert, where only desert creatures are going to be here once Babylon the Great is destroyed. And no man will ever dwell in this land again. That's the prophecy. See? So you're not going to make it unless the Lord comes to beam you up out of here and deliver you. That's the only way. Now from there, let's close out here in the book of Revelation. This is the book of Revelation chapter 3 and 10. This is the book of Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. You kept this word. You've kept this testimony. You've studied, you believed, you trust in the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. You've kept this word. See, no matter what, you believe in this word is what's being preached. I'm talking about the true understanding of the scriptures. I'm not talking about this Christianity madness. I'm talking about the true understanding of the scriptures and the prophecies. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. And when you go into this word temptation, this comes back to talking about the M.O.T.B. See, which is that big test. The hour of temptation is when they're going to come out with the M.O.T.B. And as I just went over in this lesson, you can see how everything is being set up. Everything is being set up so this thing can come out. This is a prophecy of the Lord. It's coming out whether you believe it or not. See, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. So all the ones that kept the word of his patience, those are the ones ultimately that are of the elect. And the Lord is going to keep you from the hour of temptation. He's going to put the spirit on you to refuse to take that thing, even if you got to be taken out. And you don't even lose then, because the scriptures say the dead in Yahushua will rise first. You'll be risen first. See, you'll be risen. You'll be on the chariots first when the Lord comes back. So if you're the elect, there's no way you won't make it through this thing. the elect will be delivered. That's the fact. There's no way around that. If you're of the elect, you're going to be delivered. It says, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So this is going to go across the whole entire world. Just like when that C9 jump shot went around the whole world. This is going to be even a greater, much greater thing that's about getting ready to happen in this world. See, on this earth. It says, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So the big test is the M.O.T.B, and that's why we continue to push this thing as a major, major prophecy. Once that thing comes out, hey, start looking up, because Yahushua is on the way. See, as a matter of fact, verse 11, behold, I come quickly. See, right after the M.O.T.B comes out, become made mandatory and implemented, start looking up. It says, behold, I come quickly. Yahushua is getting ready to come. He's coming quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take that crown. So hold fast to this truth, this testimony. Continue to believe in the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Continue to believe in the true understanding and breakdowns of these scriptures. Continue to believe in these prophecies and understand that these words are true. These are the words of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and they will come to pass. They have came to pass, and every prophecy will come to pass. And you best believe that the M.O.T.B is getting ready to come out and be made mandatory. But through the spirit and power of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, he's been warning us. He's been getting us prepared. We know what's coming. We know what's coming. We know what's about to happen before it happens. And we're going to trust and believe in the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai to keep us from the hour of temptation. And with that, I hope that you were edified. This has been the M.O.T.B is not a game. I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.